Welcome to our community update for Term 2A, as we are now calling it in the Reimagined 2020. We're here in the Rosewood Centre, but we always begin all of our functions by acknowledging Darug. We do that particularly this week because it's the week in which we're acknowledging Reconciliation Week. Tomorrow, when you perhaps will be viewing this video, will be in fact the National Sorry Day. So we begin by recognising the long history of our country and the future that we yearn to see more reconciled together. I'm joined here by our school captains, and in this video we're going to present quite a lot of information, but before we get into the detail, where we'll be finding out a little bit more about what we're planning to do, I thought I might ask our school captains a little bit about their experience, about what the last few weeks have been like, how they're feeling now and what the future might hold. So Pippa, first of all, what was online learning like for you?
It was definitely a very different learning experience, obviously, and we had to be a lot more independent and take more initiative for ourselves and be self-driven. But in saying that, I definitely felt really supported by all of my teachers who kept checking in throughout the weeks that we were at home, and even in the meetings I felt really supported and like they were with me while I was doing my learning, and we're all really appreciative of all the work that our teachers put in for us, and we're so grateful for how supported we felt. But it was very different, a really good learning experience, but we're definitely very grateful to be back.
Well, let's move now to Jez. Jez, what is it like to be back for you? How is it now that you're back at school?
Oh, for me it'd be it's an absolute joy to be back, and I think I can speak for the rest of the school community in saying that it's just been the most wonderful gift and joy to be back so soon. I think definitely people are still adjusting to all the new changes around the school, and it's a sort of new way of school life. But for the most part, it's so wonderful to all be back together, and everyone's really grateful.
Thanks. Nico, what's the Year 12 experience? We've all been very concerned for Year 12. The Year 12s have perhaps had the most to lose from all of the different year groups. Personally, I've been concerned for Year 12 and also for our little ones, our pre-K, kindergarten and Year 1 children, where time is so precious. But for all our years, but of all the years, Year 12, how are Year 12 feeling now?
Well, it's been interesting. It's been great to get back to a state of normalcy, but it's tough to get a read on the entire cohort. But generally speaking, it's been nice to actually get back and to get back to some normalcy and some social constructs. So whilst obviously we're going to miss out on perhaps some parties and some other, general Year 12 day-to-day life, it's been mostly quite a good experience in that we've become perhaps a bit desensitized to it all. So Year 12 in particular, as Pippa had mentioned, we've been supported by not just the entirety of the cohort, but also the teachers and the staff here at Barker in particular. And so it's been quite a seamless process to get back into school and to get back to some normalcy.
Well, we certainly wish all of Year 12 every success, but let me ask finally, before we get the community update itself, could I ask Lucas what you're looking forward to about the future?
So as restrictions have started easing over the last few weeks, we're hoping that as they progress to become eased a bit more, that we can go back to a state of normal like it was before the virus hit. And as music and sport come back in a modified form, we're really hoping that we can get back to those activities and enjoy time together and play sport and play our instruments like we normally did, and really enjoy the company that we have together and the term that lies ahead of us.
Well, we wish you well with that. Let's now find out a little bit more information about what's going to happen for the rest of this year.
It's lovely to be able to be speaking with you. I do hope that you've been able to get through the last few months as well as possibly can be expected, and that there certainly have been some silver linings hidden within the changed events associated with the current health emergency. So, this is an update on the reimagined calendar that we'll be running at Barker. Firstly, I do need to note that there is the need to be exceptionally agile in our calendar. Things that we have always done are simply not possible now. But there are some things that were looking unlikely only a few weeks ago, but are looking more and more possible to be able to go ahead. We will continue to update the Barker community as quickly as we can to changes and adjustments to the year as it unfolds. Mr Van Einem will give a comprehensive update in this briefing to a number of the academic matters. This will include parent-teacher evenings, reports and curriculum nights. You will have seen that we are taking the first steps back towards a full co-curricular program. Today, the first sessions in the Barker Cup, an inter-house multi-activity competition, will begin. This should be some great fun just to get things started and allow the students to find their way back into sport participation. We are working closely with our brother and sister schools and relevant sports associations with regard to recommencing our sports fixtures. Indeed, the CAS General Committee, comprising of the 6 heads and members of the school councils, are meeting this week to map out a return to play in the months ahead. This will not be a simple or fast process, but we will keep people informed as to potential start dates and structures of the competitions across the ISA, CAS and then the IPSHA Association for our junior school students. There are many factors in play and we are working with relevant government and sporting authorities as up-to-date guidelines are published. At this stage, it is unlikely that there will be any inter-school matches before the end of July, that is the start of the old Term 3, but we will continue to expand our activities and games here at school. This week also sees the restart of a great many of the other school-based co-curricular activities. Small music ensembles will get back to the rehearsals. In the secondary school, subject support sessions will restart live, as we'll focus on for the middle school students. Mr Lebrano has sent out a detailed information sheet relating to the Ignite program in the junior school. Everything there will be starting back in the week beginning June the 15th. Mr Langley and the cadet team are working through a restart program for the Cadet Corps. This obviously needs to be done in conjunction with the Australian Army. We are really mindful of trying to build in a farewell activity for our Year 12 students, having needed to cancel the annual cadet camp as well as the ceremonial parade this year. More details will follow on this. The outdoor education program has been drastically affected by recent events. One priority that we are working towards is ensuring that all of our middle school students are able to have an experience at the Grange at some point this year. Again, more details will come from Mr Denton in the weeks ahead, but at this stage we are hoping to restart the Grange program after the mid-term break in July and then roll through the remaining Year 8 camps. A few geography classes were able to in fact go to Mount Victoria before the shutdown. Then we'll move into Year 9 and Year 7 will have a Grange experience before the end of the year. These camps may be slightly modified to those held in the past, but we have a plan to allow everyone to participate this year. There will be further details published about the broader outdoor education experiences and program once we're able to gain further clarity from the government around restrictions and modifications that need to be in place. It's likely that a number of the broader camps will not be able to proceed as they have in the past. But we are working hard to ensure that events that are important to the broader life of the school, such as the end of year Year 10 camp, are given every chance to go ahead. Finally, for our fabulous Year 12 students who have done so well as a cohort and have had so many of their lasts that they would normally expect to have occurred disrupted. Please note that we have a number of alternatives in place as we look towards the end of the academic year and the conclusion of school as a whole for them. With the change of term dates, we have changed the booking for the valedictory dinner. This is now booked in for the 1st of October. If large gatherings are still not able to happen at this time, we have a backup date later in December. Again, when there is more certainty around the legislation, we'll communicate this with everyone. Please note that any information that comes out asking for people to nominate table groups and arrangements is simply to allow organisation to be in place for this important event. We'll also have the annual drama, textiles, visual art, design and technology and industrial technology displays from the Year 12 students. There's been real disruption statewide around these major works in the HSC, but we fully intend to have time in the calendar in September to allow the students to show off their brilliant work. So, there are lots of changes around the calendar. We'll continue to work hard towards restarting and reinstating as much as we possibly can, as quickly as we can, and as safely as we can. Communicating this to the broader Barker community once details are in place. It's been great today to see the students back. Please continue to take care.
I want to talk to you about how we're responding with regard to reports, parent-teacher evenings and curriculum evenings. School reports are an important vehicle for providing feedback to parents about how their child is performing. As you're aware, the school moved to online learning late last term, and we then had an extended holiday break. This resulted in our formal assessment program being changed, with some tasks going online and some being cancelled altogether. Consequently, we've had to move our timeline for reporting back a few weeks. Parents will still receive a formal written report twice this year, as with any other year. However, the first written report will be issued to parents of Year 12 students in week 4 of this term, which is about in 2 weeks' time. These will be followed by Years 9 and 11, issued in about week 7, and then other year groups the following week. Parents of Year 12 students need to be aware that this coming report for many subjects is based only on one task and therefore might not truly reflect the student's performance at the end of the year. The upside of this is that there's still a significant part of the assessment program yet to be completed, so students have ample opportunities to perform. The remaining assessments are specifically designed to focus on examination skills. In this way, we are providing the best possible preparation for your child's final examinations in October. We understand that another important way of providing feedback to parents is via parent-teacher nights. For those who have had this experience before at Barker, there are situations where there's almost a conga line of parents waiting to discuss their child's progress with a number of staff, more akin to speed dating. This mode makes it difficult for social distancing to occur. As a consequence, this year, we're running parent-teacher nights using video streaming. We're still working on the exact details of this, but a booking system will be arranged as in past nights, and the interview conducted via Microsoft Teams through the student's account, obviously with the parent present. These will commence after the reports are received, towards the end of July. We understand this is much later than usual and encourage parents to contact their child's head of house if they would like to discuss progress before then. Lastly, students typically choose their elective program for the following year in around July and August of each year. We're planning to keep this timeline the same. In this way, parents can discuss their child's possible elective choices with their teachers during parent-teacher interviews. We will run the curriculum evenings online. Electives will have recorded video content that students and parents can view to help them make decisions about their elective choices and pattern of study for 2021. The Director of Studies will record an introductory video that will help explain the structure of electives in each year, as well as information about how to record your choices and complete the process. Staff will be available to answer any questions that you may have about elective choices or about the process in general. I hope this has helped you understand how we're providing you with vitally important information about your child and catering for their academic program in 2021. Should you have any questions, please contact your son or daughter's head of house in the first instance.
So in closing, we want to just finish by describing this lovely place that we're in. It has helped a lot to ease some of the strain that this recent shutdown has caused. We have not only looked forward to coming back together again and reimagining the rest of this year, but we've also looked forward to this wonderful place. Cam Anderson is our head of sport, and I'm going to ask him finally, how does the sports team feel about entering this new space?
Well, in one word, excited. The students themselves can't wait to use this fantastic facility, and furthermore the staff are probably a little more excited than the students.
That's beautiful. Well, we can't wait to share this with you when the time is right, when the circumstances allow. But in the meantime, we're enormously grateful to all of our community for your support, your love, your prayers and your encouragement. May the Lord be with you as we surge together to imagine thriving in this new phase.